Greetings and welcome to CauselessJoy Tarot. I am the Golden Light Goddess, and I'm here today to do a reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of December 2017. Let me just start by saying happy birthday if you are celebrating your birthday as a Sagittarius in this time, which if you're a Sag, you are celebrating your birthday. So happy birthday to you, and do stick around at the end of this reading because I will offer a 3-card reading as a special bonus gift for the birthday sign. A 3-card yes or no reading will follow the main portion of your reading today. So we'll be working with the Legacy of the Divine by Cyril Marchetti for the main reading, as well as pulling a guidance card from The Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. Also, I will be offering personal readings starting in 2018. If you would like to schedule one of those readings, more details can be found under the discussion tab on my channel. All right, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and get your reading started then for the month of December. Calling on the angels, the guides, helpers, and teachers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Sagittarius, asking for perfect, crystal clear guidance, wisdom, and clarity as we look into the energy for Sagittarius for December 2017. Giving thanks in advance to all that is for perfect wisdom, perfect vision, and perfect clarity. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Again, giving thanks for wisdom as we look at the energy coming in for Sagittarius for the month of December 2017. As we look at that energy coming in, what is the highest wisdom for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of December 2017? December 2017. All right, that feels good, Sag. All right, so let's take a look at your cards for December 2017. And I'll talk a little bit about this layout as we move through. All right, at the very bottom of the deck, Sag, you do have the 6 of Swords coming in as the overall energy. Now, the 6 of Swords is really all about moving from some choppy waters or choppy times into a more calmer, a more lucrative time. So that's really a great way to start out your reading here for the month of December, looking at some sort of movement here. It could also be a relocation, a new job. Some sort of movement is in store for Sagittarius in the month of December. And we'll take a look at the rest of your cards here and see if we can nail that down a little more. Okay, so at the very center of your energy here, we have the 2 of Swords coming in. So it looks like Sagittarius may be faced with some sort of decision, there's some need to make some changes. And this card came out earlier for another sign, and I was drawn to the fact that this person was actually holding the swords here. And so now that is very prevalent for me when I see this card, is that this person has both swords in both hands, which indicates that they're they're not in control of their destiny. None of us are. We're not in control of that part of it, but we are in control of the way that we respond to certain things and how we take that energy in, what we end up doing with that energy. So in that aspect, we are very much in control of how we're responding at any given time to circumstances or people. So again, there may be a need here for Sagittarius to make a decision, and they do not have everything that they need to make that decision. As you can see here, the eyes on this individual are blindfolded. So let's see what's crossing that. All right, Sagittarius, what's crossing that is the Ten of Coins. All right, so whatever decision you're needing to make, that decision definitely has the ability to impact your ability to earn, your ability to access your resources. But that decision, I'm also picking up, once you make that decision, once you do have the things that you need to make a good solid choice, that is going to prove to be a very lucrative decision for you. So whatever you're waiting on, whatever you're holding on to try to make the best decision, go ahead and be patient there, because that decision will ultimately prove to be a very lucrative one for you. And this is also a card of completion, so that decision will also complete one cycle for you and begin to move you in the direction, prepare you to begin to take on this new cycle. All right. And above you here, we do have the Four of Coins, which indicates to me that you are monitoring very closely right now what you're spending your money on. I know that we're in holiday season right now, so it's very easy to splurge or to spend more than what you had budgeted for yourself. But I'm seeing that Sagittarius are being very mindful here in this holiday season of what they're spending their coins on. They're very close to their money. This could also indicate that, you know, perhaps you don't have a lot to splurge with, right? If there's money's coming in that cover your expenses, your living expenses, you know, you may be very, very much this may be something that you have to do, right, rather than a choice, because sometimes we have a lot of extra money and we simply choose not to spend it, and then other times we don't have the money, so it's not there for us to spend. We don't have another choice except to be really careful with our spending. So you know where you fit on that spectrum, how that applies to your life, and you know, you apply it in that way. But at the end of the day, generally speaking, this card simply means that you're being very, very careful and very watchful of the money that you're spending, which is, you know, it's not a bad thing, especially at this time of year, like I said. All right, so what do we have beneath you, Sag? We have the Hanging Man. Now, this is a major arcana, and this card is all about surrender. It's all about finding your balance and surrendering to what is, allowing everything to just move through your life without creating any barriers for yourself or anyone else. So this whole central row here represents the current energy for Sagittarius. These three cards on the left represent your past, and then these three cards on the right represent your future. So in looking at your central role as in you know, at the story that your central role is telling right now. What I'm seeing is there's a real need for you to make some decisions about possibly about your finances, because we do have the 10 of coins crossing that, which is also indicating that that decision will very much impact your finances. But there's also a need to surrender and to be in the flow with what's happening in your life right now, and then also again to monitor where you are, where your money is going, whether if it's a choice or a forced situation. It doesn't matter. It simply means that you need to be really mindful about where you're placing your coins. So let's look at this past energy here. We have the 3 of Swords, the 6 of Coins, and the 2 of Coins. Another decision-making card. Actually, you have 3 2s in your spread. So that means that decisions will be very, very big and in your face in December. So there's going to be this real clear need for Sagittarius to make decisions that definitely have the potential to impact the way they're living their lives. All right, so getting back to this past energy, we have the 3 of Swords. Now this is a heartbreak card. So somewhere in the past, in the very recent past, there's been some heartbreak. Either it could be a relationship where you were in a love relationship and someone broke your heart. It could be a family relationship. It could also be a co-worker, a business relationship, or a casual relationship. Whatever the case may be, there's some sense of heartbreak here. Now, this heartbreak card is coming in right over the 6 of Coins, and there was another sign that had this combination. So please make sure that if you know your rising sign, that you're taking time to go out and review the video for your rising sign, because there was another sign that had this exact combination, except I think it was Leo. I believe that's who it was. The coin was on top and the sword was beneath, I think. But anyway, check your rising sign if you know what that is. But we have this 3 of Swords above the 6 of Coins. Now, this give and take energy that the 6 of Coins represents, right? We have this give and take energy that is directly tied to the heartbreak. So wherever there was some sense of give and take here, when I pulled this combination earlier, I can distinctly remember feeling that it wasn't a 50-50, because when you think of give and take, you think 50-50. In this case, it looks like 60-40, 70-30 even would be more fair, probably, because if you think about it, in order for you to feel heartbroken about it, there had to be some imbalance, some discrepancies. The scale was tilted. It wasn't a 50-50 thing. There was a tilt in the scale in order for you to come out feeling heartbroken. All right, now these 3 cards here also work together. So some decisions were made that that could have either, or this situation led to decisions being made, is the way the cards are lined up here. So we have this heartbreaking situation where there was some sort of imbalance in give and take, and that led to a decision being made, right? So as the outcome of this past energy, there was a decision made that hopefully and ultimately changed this heartbreak around for you and everyone involved. All right, so again, these 3 cards are working together, and these decisions, this heartbreak and this imbalance in give and take has led to a decision being made. Now, I do want to go back to this Six of Coins. All right, because what I said was that there was an imbalance, like a 70-30, and I pulled that information from the previous reading. But what Spirit is reminding me is that the previous reading, the 6 came out in the reverse, right? So this card is not in the reverse. This card is coming up in the upright, which indicates that there was balance around the give and take. But for whatever reason, you still came out feeling heartbroken. You still came out feeling as if things were not like it was a 70-30, like there was an imbalance in the give and take. But again, Spirit has just very clearly reminded me that the imbalance in that previous reading was reflected in the fact that that Six of Coins came up in the reverse. Here we have this card coming up in the upright, which indicates that there was balance in the give and take. But again, for whatever reason, there was still very much a sense of heartbreak on your part. And really that boils down to perception, right? So if there was balance there and you couldn't perceive it, you would have felt heartbroken by that situation. And again, the combination of these two things led to some decisions being made. All right, let's now take a look at your future energy here. Now this looks pretty good over here, Sag. We have another 2. As I mentioned, you came in with 3 2s, which really is a very clear indicator for me that you will be dealing with some decisions, perhaps in the month of December or heading into the new year, that will be paramount for your future. So here we have the 2 of Cups that is right underneath the 10 of Cups. It just doesn't get any better than that, Sag, in terms of being emotionally satisfied. Here we have the happy family, right? In this 10 of Cups, this is a happy family. And then we also have the 2 of Cups, both cards coming up in the upright, which is great. And this 2 of Cups is all about a happy relationship. So here we have a happy relationship and a happy family, right? You know, what more could you ask for in terms of your relationships? You want your family to be happy. You want your relationships to be happy. So here there's a very clear indication that what you are heading towards is a very emotionally satisfying place in terms of your relationships with your family and the people that are closest to you. This 2 of Cups energy could be signifying an actual love relationship where you're involved in a physical way with someone else. It also could mean that this is a casual or business relationship that is just playing a very vital role in your well-being, in your happiness right now. Either way it goes, like I said, both of these cards combined really signify a high level of emotional satisfaction as it relates to your relationships, and that is just abundantly wonderful, and kudos to you for that energy, Sag. And you know, again, like as I said, these 3 cards work together, as did these 3 in your past, and perfectly. Here we have the Queen of Cups as your final outcome card, because this Queen, take a look at her there now. She is very put together. You can also see the fish around her. I'm drawn to the fish that are around her, and also back to your 10 of Coins that was crossing you. So an abundance here, Sag, of very positive emotional energy, and as well as financially abundant, with those fish coming around her, the 10 of Coins in your current position crossing you, indicating that you are mastering your emotions, becoming a master of your emotions, because that's what this Queen of Cups is all about. She's about mastering those emotions, mastering her emotions or his emotions in a relationship capacity, which was indicated very clearly here with your Ten of Cups and your Two of Cups. Also wanted to point out that you came in with 2 tens as well in this reading. So we have 3 twos, indicating some sort of big decision coming through for Sagittarius in the month of December, as well as we have 2 tens in your spread, indicating that some sort of cycle is completing for you at this time. And that cycle is, according to your 3 future cards, is a cycle. The new cycle entails being emotionally fulfilled in your relationships, in your family relationships, and in your personal relationships. So both of those are highly sought after things that everyone wants in their life. So again, it's looking very, very positive for the birthday sign in the month of December 2017. All right, so let's go ahead and close out the main portion of the reading with one guidance card here. Again, I am using the Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray, and we're asking for one additional guidance card for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of December. Thank you in advance. All right, we got a few there. Thank you in advance, Spirit, for the highest guidance for Sagittarius for the month of December 2017. We ask for one additional card to close out their reading for December 2000. There it is. All right, great. All right. All right, so what you received was the Shekinah, the sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, and dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, and dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So another reminder here that things are just, I'm really getting the impression for Sagittarius that December will prove to be the month that really sets you up to be your very best in 2018, to have the very best in terms of relationships and financial support. And so this sacred self card, which is the part of us that is always leading the way, is coming through to remind you that you have the perfect guidance and the gifts you've been given, the gifts that you need, and it's now time to express those gifts and let your spirit be free, right? And so if there was this sense of heartbreak in the past, it's now time to put all that behind you and enjoy the fruits of your labor, and by expressing your gifts in the world. Just a beautiful way to end your reading for the month of December. Now, again, it is now time for your 3-card draw for a yes/no question. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to leave the Shekinah card out because I really, really do very much appreciate that card coming out for you in such a positive reading for the sign of Sag. All right, so I'm going to be using the Gilded Revelry Lenormand deck for the 3-card draw. And the way this works for the birthday sign is that you just select a number between 1 and 3, and then you hold the yes or no question that you have in your mind. Now, from experience, I typically get a very clear yes, a very clear no, and then there's one extra card that, you know, usually tells us exactly what the meaning is behind that. So go ahead and get your number in mind now as I shuffle through the cards, and then I'm going to lay out 3 cards and see what the answer is for you. All right, giving thanks in advance for crystal clear answers for the sign of Sagittarius on this 3-card draw. Yes, let's get these shuffled up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and draw your card. So I'm sure by now you've already decided on what your number is going to be. So let's get in here and see what we have. Okay, there we go. So if you chose number 1, so you should have your question in mind and your number. If you chose number 1, we have the Mask. Let me just double check that and make sure, because in this particular deck, this is a limited edition deck, and there are additional cards that aren't in the regular Lenormand deck. So just let me have a quick peek at number 40 and make sure we're getting the right message from here. Yes, it is the Mask. Says it's about playing, and this is one of the extra cards, it's about playing by the rules. It may indicate the need to assume a different role. It is symbolic of concealment and deception. All right, so in that case, now that we've gotten some clarity on this extra card about what the Mask is, it's indicative of deception. And so I'm going to say that this is a no. You know, if you chose number 1, whatever your question was, we're calling number 1 a no. All right. So number 2, if you chose number 2, you need to proceed with caution. Right? This is the fox, and this fox is, you know what foxes do. They sneak in and they're slick and they take things, they take little chickens out of their coops when no one's looking. That's what foxes do. So if you chose number 2, either, like if your question was about a person, this is really an indication that, you know, you need to be very cautious with this individual, you know. So I'm not calling this fox a no, because, you know, it's just that there's a need for caution. So let's just hope that card number 3 is a yes, because neither one of these equal a yes. All right, what do we have? We have the Moon, which is time. Give it some time. We didn't get a yes here. So, and that's the way the universe works. It'll give you exactly what you're asking for. If you chose number 3, there's some time. You need to wait. You know, there's some time that needs to pass before whatever you're asking for can be fulfilled. All right. So we got a no. We got, for number 2, you need to watch someone around you. So I would, you know, I didn't want to call that a no, and I'm still not going to call it a no. I'm really feeling that if you chose number 2, there's someone around you that, you know, is questionable. You really need to look into that. And if you chose number 3, then the answer is give it a little time. All right, so that does conclude your bonus portion of your reading, as well as the main portion of your reading. I do wish you a very prosperous and wonderful holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you back here in 2018. Namaste.